the people that bought into it so hard that they just kept establishing it as a not legitimate, but an actual religion or entity, and to a point where certain people believe that they do think that they get some kind of feeling about people.
Yep.
And they, whatever it is, I think a lot of people possibly are maybe so too, like, have you ever heard about the horse that could look at you and it would stomp whatever number you were thinking of? This is a real story.
No,
it was so good.
I'm writing this down.
It was so good at reading nonverbal cues on humans' faces and body language that it could tell what number you were thinking of. And it was a carnival act. They would go around and everybody would come from far and wide to see if the horse could guess their number. And it very often could. So I think that, I don't know why you're laughing. The horse is fucking doing it.
I'm sorry. This is the idea of a psychic horse. It's just, that's all I need to hear. It's funny.
I'm telling you, it's not psychic.
I know it's not psychic.
Nonverbal cues.
I know it's not psychic. I'm just I love the idea of someone claiming a psychic horse.
I mean, this is...
You guys, stop talking about Chrissy in these ways. Jesus Christ.
I think the horse is smarter, but I think that a lot of
I was being mean. Jesus.
I think that a lot of these people don't realize that they can pick up on nonverbal cues as well as they can, and they chalk it up to psychic ability, because some people just they're smelling their own farts and they're all in on the fact that they're psychic or whatever, but.
There is a technique to it, and I do know the techniques. And if I didn't have a conscience, I would sell my services as a cold reader, cold reading psychic.
Okay.
Instead, you're just a lawyer.
Yeah, I know.
Shut up.
Boom. Yeah. I'm fucking killing it right now. I'm gonna read some.
They lean into you being polite. Like, please don't be rude and start yelling bullshit the way that we all want to stand up and say,
you're
so, don't stand up and go, you're so far off. You couldn't be more far off. It's like, hey, this person hasn't really been doing this long. So sometimes their readings aren't as accurate. So let's just politely let them say what they're going to say, regardless of whether or not they anything that they say lands. Which, when we were there on a bad day. So much didn't land. What did you say, Cayley?
This is a little bit of a spoiler, but not a single one of the mediums got anybody to truly agree with anything that they were saying. And these were all people who want to be believers. These are all people who are like, yeah, I want to talk to my dead loved one. So they are willing to make a lot of reaches. And the medium would be like, well, did they, were they a smoker? I'm really smelling a lot of cigarettes right now. So it sounds like, and they were like, well, I think that they smoked once in college. Like, that was the level of connection that we were at.
Trying to make an attenuated link.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let me just tell you real quick how most of these start, and you tell me if I'm right about any of this.
Yes.
Now, the first thing they're always going to do is they're going to say, I'm getting a name. Okay. Is it possibly a name that starts with, now this is very important, an M or a J? Now, do you know why those are the first two they always go to?
Most common.
The most common name in the most recent census was John. And then the most recent for men, and the most recent census name for women was Mary.
Mike?
Yeah.
Damn it. I suck at this game.
And so that's how they're always going to start off, because it's the best of odds. And then, of course, based on your verbal cues, they're going to then say, like, let's say your age. If they see that you're, maybe over 50, they're going to say, I'm getting the name of someone who's probably deceased, because that is basically just playing a game of numbers to say that if you're old, there's probably someone close to you, like a parent, who's probably dead. And they move on, but it's, of course it's variable and stuff like that. But anyway, tell me if I'm right about any of this.
I think that you're right about what they're trying to start at the top of a funnel and then funnel it down to something more specific. But we saw some wild swings that we can get into. And the first one started with a woman that was actually from our city. We had to drive like 2.5 hours to get here. So the fact that somebody that lived right around the corner from me was the first person that got up was interesting to me. And her first name was Kim. I wrote down her last name, but I won't dox her, whatever. But everybody kind of has their gimmick. This is their sort of the way that they do their spiel. And Kim's spiel was always like, I feel like I'm with you. I'm on this side of the stump. I'm with you. I think I'm at like kind of at the back, but it might be at the front. And it was never on our side. That was always the other side from us, because they could probably
saw your Ghostbusters shirt.
Yeah.
They saw your Ghostbusters shirt, dude.
She was never with me. But Kim, she was cold reading that she had a woman with bright red lipstick that was a party host. That she, does anybody know a woman that used to wear red lipstick and like to host a party? Probably, maybe somebody did know that. There was this one woman that was desperate to be involved, that they kept saying, "Oh, what about? Does anybody have a dead child?" And the woman's like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely me." Oh, when did how old was the girl that died? Oh, she was like 26. That's not a child, late. And that woman spoke up like 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not. It's not for you.
The way that I kept defining the audience members was I kept saying, this woman keeps calling all of the readings. So like anytime that they would be doing these like platitudes of, did you know like a 1970s bohemian smoker, the woman would be like, I do, I call it, it's mine. I know that's my person. But I think, again, that Mrs. Trucker Andy did a really, really good job of explaining it. She said that people are almost stealing each other's messages when they're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like they
Stolen
want it
psychic
so
valor.
badly. Yeah, they want it so badly to be them. They're like, yeah, I definitely knew a kid that died for sure, 100%. 26 years old is pretty young, so like that's a kid. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah,
That's
I guess if you're 60, that's a kid. But
and the woman who called that one was not old. She was like maybe 35. So like her being like, yeah, I knew somebody who was a kid that died was not.
Yeah, she was a crackpot. And those are the kind of people that everybody that lives there are hoping that they're going to get. They don't want me to walk in and sit across from you and basically give you nothing and say, you're supposed to tell me. Like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
Instead, these people sit down and they start, it's like,
they draw the conclusions and take the work away from the psychic.
Yeah, they give you everything. They give them everything and make their job so easy. And they just start talking about their problems and what they're going through. Like the psychic is a bartender, and they're just like, yeah. Well, that's got to be hard, but don't worry, everything's going to get better because your dead grandma said that she loves you and have a nice day.
Well,
it's like that's what they want to happen.
And Andy, I don't remember if you were saying this, but I do think it's such a good point. I have had plenty of friends who died that if a psychic told me everything about them, like if a psychic got every single thing correct, he played accordion, he, grew mushrooms, but not the magic kind. He fermented things, like if they named every single thing about one of my friends who died and they got every single thing correct. And then they were like, and he just wants to tell you that, you know, like he really loved you and he wished that he had more time on this earth with you, I'd be like, no, he fucking didn't. He told me to fart in a jar. He told me to fart in a jar. He did not say any of that nice shit to me. He is being mean to me from the afterlife. Like, that's the joke, is that we're still fucking with each other. That's what we did when we were alive. He's not saying nice things to me now all of a sudden just because he's dead. Like, we're still fucking with each other, dude.
Wait, I'm getting a reading. Cayley, Luigi says...
That one I believe.
Yeah. So, you know, what's funny is we did this one episode on James Randi. And to your point is that when someone does, you know, genuinely believe this nonsense, they start doing the work because they want it to be real and they want it to be, you know, they want to get that experience. And one of the greatest examples that James Randi put on TV was he has a transcript of a psychic reading that this guy gets. And he has the person who got the reading and the person who was the psychic. And he says, hey, let me ask you, when they were making their connection, how many times, or did they get it right off the bat? The guy goes, no, it took a couple of tries. He goes, okay. So when they made the connection with the person that you spoke to and was connected to you, how many names did they give you before they arrived at that name, the right name? And he goes, like 2 or 3. And he goes, okay, it wasn't 2 or 3. And he reads a list of 37 names. And he says, they said John, George, you know, Frank, but, you know, like Bobby, like, and he reads every name and he says, but you're only going to remember the thing that set off that chemical in your brain that made you feel special, you know?
And I want to add on to that also. I am not a believer in any of this. This stuff is not for me. However, when I was sitting at the stump and I was listening to these readings and I was listening to these psychics, I wanted to get called on, and I didn't want to get called on just because I wanted for us to be able to talk about it. I wanted to get called on because, like I mentioned in our little intro video, I literally had just had 2 friends die. And you're desperate in that situation. Do I believe any of it? No. But would it have still been some level of comfort for me? Yes. And that's stupid. And I know that I'm stupid for feeling that way, but I felt it. I felt it when I was sitting at the stump. And that is just a dumb thing that your stupid human chemical brain does to you when you're fucked up in the head because you've lost somebody and you're emotionally vulnerable.
Right. That's what they're preying on. And 37 names. You might as well be holding a deck of cards and going, is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card? And by the time you got to the 37th card, you probably would have hit on it. So
but when you're dealing,
but sorry, Luigi, but to Cayley's point, it would have been really cool if somebody that was with us got called on. That would have been awesome. But what were you saying, Luigi?
I have a story to tell about that in a little bit. Somebody that we were with did get called on.
But no, you're right. I want to definitely emphasize what Andy's saying is that, yes, they prey on vulnerable people. They are criminals. They are disgusting, horrible people. I hate everything about them. And yeah, that's why I can't bring myself to pay them money to make fun of them either. They're like John. I've never given John $1, but to try to goof on him, I'm going to do for free. But like, yeah, it's just disgusting. It's a horrible, horrible practice. I understand there are some people who get legitimate closure out of it. It's the lying that makes it immoral.
No,
to me.
Fuck that. No, don't even try to rationalize it in that way. And I know that
this woman's thing was, you understand. So anytime she would say anything, she's just like, okay, I'm getting a guy. You understand? Do you know any dead men? So you understand. And I think that he had brown hair. Did he have brown hair? You understand? No, it was blonde
like a
hair.
Tick.
You understand. So it wasn't brown hair? Yeah. Oh, he was bald? Okay. You understand. So she just kept telling everybody that they understood so that you felt like you were buying into it.
That is called fuck. There's a name for that, but it is a way to confirm.
I'm interested.
Yes, there you go. It is a way to quote unquote subconsciously get the person to confirm what you're saying by doing that confirmation, by saying, you get what I'm saying.
Subconscious.
You,
Yeah, it wasn't subconscious.
But I'm saying, no, I'm saying to get the other person to
Yeah.
think that they are understanding. So
Right.
if you say it enough, you get them to say, oh, yeah, I am understanding what you're saying. And real quick, I to go back to the video that we were talking about with James Randi, at the end of it, you know, it looks like a big nuclear bomb that James Randi has dropped on the validity of the situation. But at the end of it, you're not going to believe this. They say exactly what you guys just said about the guy says, well, hey, look, you took it out of context. You weren't there. I felt something real. And then the psychic says, even if you don't believe it, I'm providing a service of closure to people who want it. And it's like, even amidst all of this debunking, you can't shake their faith in this.
Yeah.
And it's so gross.
I do think that there's an additional psychological thing in addition to what you were just describing, Luigi. I think that there's an additional psychological thing that's happening here when you say something like, you understand. Every single person wants to be a yes person. It doesn't matter. There are lots of people who are not yes men, but everybody has like some little inner like thing in their tum-tum that says, I want to be a yes man. I want to people please. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so when you phrase it in that particular way, not only are you trying to get them to confirm, but you're also giving them a question that they want to answer yes to. Oh, you understand? Yeah, of course I understand. Because if I didn't understand, I would be stupid, and I'm not a dum-dum.
Yeah.
I know. All right, let me get a couple
I'm in
more
on
super
it.
chats here.
I speak jive.
So I don't regret going, but
No.
I don't buy what they're selling there.
Good.
Is the
Yes.
real problem.
Except for
And
the hacky sacks and the banana splits.
Yeah. So then the last one that I was there for, because I had to leave in the middle, was a woman named Kathleen, and her thing was every time she got to the end of some kind of interaction, she was, I'll leave that with you with love. I'll leave that with you
Fuck
with
off.
love. And it's just like I said, these people are so many of them are seemingly sweet little old ladies that you're not going to just go, you're full of shit, old lady. It's like your grandma. Yeah, you would. You would. I wouldn't. Obviously,
Take your love and shove it right up your corn shoot.
We're gonna hear. We're going to hear a recording of me politely listening to a bunch of nonsense. But
one of our friends was particularly suspicious of all of this and not having fun at all. Just like zero fun whatsoever. So he was sitting just kind of like with his head down, not paying attention to any of the psychics. At this point, it was a pretty hot day. Even though it was a beautiful day, it was pretty hot. And the benches that we were sitting on, those pews that Andy showed us the picture of, were so uncomfortable. You're like sitting and there's like somehow a stick in your back. And so we're all sitting there for an hour and a half. And at this point, we're all getting a little restless. And finally, this woman calls on our friend and says, you there with the gray hair, which our friend takes immediate offense to. He's like, I don't have gray hair. I don't fucking have gray hair. So he's refusing to acknowledge that the medium is talking to him. And then you there with the gray hair and the black shirt and, your head is kind of down and the glasses and the...
Hey, that fat old loser that looks like they're not having any fun.
Yes, that's literally what this woman is saying to him. She just keeps describing him more and more. Little overweight, very tall, very sitting next to the girl and like just embarrassing the shit out of her.
Stop eating that banana split.
Yeah. And so they ask you before they start giving you a reading, they say, can I give you a reading? And so she says, can I give you a message? And he goes, no.
I love this guy.
And she was...
Luigi, it's the whole reason we were fucking there.
I know, but fuck them. You can read these nuts.
She was so flabbergasted. She was so flabbergasted. I have never seen a woman's face. Like, she went white as a ghost. She freaked the fuck out. She was like, oh my God, I've never had anybody say no to me. What do I do? So she just starts going really quickly. She goes, okay, I'm just going to leave this message with you with all blah, blah, blah. And like runs away and starts trying to do other things.
Good.
And I leaned over to our friend.
There's also going to be a moment, and I feel bad saying this because I feel like you've kind of already given this away, but there's going to be a moment where they have to gain your trust with compliments. There's going to be a compliment coming soon.
You're right. Oh, okay, you know the playbook. So because
yes.
you're going to hear that for sure. And I was going to say there's a moment where she starts flattering me and like just like compliments will get you everywhere kind of mentality. That does.
Oh, Andy, you look like you have a decent sized penis. Like just I'm sorry.
Was I not supposed to take it out yet? Oh, okay.
Like there's just going to be something coming, and it's going to basically
Well, remember I said she hits on me. Now she doesn't hit on me, but
the goal is to just make you happy and just. Cayley's still laughing. Maybe you should be insulted.
It's not a compliment, right? You look like you have a decent sized penis.
I mean,
okay.
How else do you compliment?
Fine.
If you met a stranger who's a man, how else? That was the first compliment that came to my mind.
I don't think that I'm going to see his penis immediately after meeting him.
Well, no, I'm just saying a compliment. Like you look like a man.
Let me just enjoy it. Continue with whatever point you're making. I was just.
You look like a man who's got some big,
penis. Oh my god,
big swinging nuts.
You didn't see how far my shorts were riding up when I was man spreading on her love seat.
But yes, that's what you call it. But the point is to like make you more comfortable so that you will possibly give more information. So there's going to be some compliments coming, and let me guess. Well, hold on. I'll wait for this one. But there's something where they give you a validation, where they say, they ask you a question, and then they say, "Hey, you might have the psychic gift too," and
that's why that book is. Down there. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that is supposed to also kind of build your confidence into sharing more by saying, maybe I do have the gift. All right. Mm-hmm. It's just a fucking scam. It's all it is.
Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I hate psychics. I hate mediums. They are criminals.
You do wish you were there with us, though.
I do wish I was there, and I would have told that old lady to take her stupid notes and shove them right up her cobweb-filled twat. And I absolutely would have made an ass of myself telling people that they are frauds.
Hey, you know what? When I got out of the reading and I rendezvoused with everybody that was back at the snack bar having even more snacks and playing with their new hacky sacks, I walked up. I did start like shitting all over the experience. And there was a guy sitting at the table next to us that was very like perturbed at the notion that we were there under false pretenses. And I wasn't even being that vicious about it. I was just like, it was disappointing. It was a load of horse shit. And I don't know if that guy is a resident or married to a woman or is there trying to meet his late father's ex-wife's daughter that also died. But
I hope that he doesn't. I hate to be that asshole, but I hope that nobody gets false hope over bullshit like this. This is stupid. It's stupid. I don't want people... I understand that sometimes people use the excuse of, well, as long as nothing is being hurt and they're getting something out of it, then what is the problem with them paying for a service? I still have a fucking problem with that because there's plenty of other things that you can spend your money on that will make you happy. Perhaps living your life and maybe going skydiving is going to make you really fucking happy, but you don't have enough money to do that because you're wasting it on fucking psychics. Go live your goddamn life.
I'll tell you exactly why there is still something wrong with it.
I'm living the best fucking life. I'm still going off on a thing. I'm sorry, Luigi,
to
interrupt you.
Go for it.
I am living literally the best life that I have ever lived. I could not possibly be happier. I am so fucking happy every day of my life, and it's amazing. And so much of that is just because I'm not wasting money on fucking psychics and tarot readings from gay tarot decks.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, give me the gay tarot deck. All right, I'm ready.
Well, no. I mean, Go ahead, Luigi.
No, I was just going to say to what you're saying is, you're saying even if they are getting something out of it, it's still wrong. The reason that's still wrong is because there's no limitation on it. And you're going to see so many psychics that once they do get their hooks in you and knowing that you believe in something like this, it doesn't end at one reading. It turns into several readings. It turns into having to break a curse, and the only way to do it is
Buy a book.
buy something. You have to give more money, and we know a guy has the calling and the spirit in him more than I do, and he charges an hourly rate. Because there's no reins on it. That's why it's still illegal or immoral.
Right.
Fuck them.